All right, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that you could reach one of the biggest financial goals of your life, not with some crazy sacrifice, but with a change so small you'd barely even notice it? Well, that's exactly the big idea we're going to unpack today. So let's start with the number that probably made you click, $500,000. I mean, just look at it. It feels like a mountain, right? Something that seems totally out of reach for most of us. But here's the thing. What if the path to that massive number doesn't actually require a giant leap? What if it just takes one tiny little step, repeated over and over again? That's the claim we're exploring, that you can get there with a single, almost invisible habit. Which, of course, brings up the big question. I mean, how on earth can something so small lead to a result so unbelievably large? It sounds kind of like magic, doesn't it? Well, let's pull back the curtain and see how it works. So to really understand the how, we've got to get crystal clear on the what. What exactly is this 1% margin we're talking about? Okay, you ready for this? It's really, really simple. The 1% margin is just the habit of taking 1% of the money you make each year and investing it. That's it. Seriously, no complex math, no crazy spreadsheets, just 1%. And you're about to see just how little that actually is. And here's where it really hits home. Just look at these numbers. If you make, say, $40,000 a year, we're talking about $1.10 a day. A dollar. That is literally less than a cheap cup of coffee. Even if you're making $100,000 a year, it's less than $3 a day. This isn't about giving up something you love. For most of us, this is literally pocket change. And that is the absolute key to the whole thing. This strategy isn't designed to make you feel like you're pinching every penny. It's all about building a tiny automatic habit that you can stick with for a long, long time. See, consistency is the real hero of this story, not sacrifice. So if the habit itself is so small, what's turning it into something so massive? Well, there's a powerful force working for you in the background. Think of it as the secret engine that turns your spare change into a fortune. And that engine is the magic of compounding. Let's break this down real quick. Simple savings, that's like just stuffing cash under your mattress. It's still the same amount a year from now. But compounding? Oh, compounding is like a snowball rolling down a really long hill. It starts small, but as it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and moving faster and faster. Your money doesn't just grow. The money your money earns starts earning its own money. It's exponential. And this chart right here, this shows you that snowball effect in action. I mean, look at it. The jump from year 10 to year 20 is pretty good, right? But then look at the leap between year 20 and year 30. It's huge. That's when the magic really kicks in. That's not just your money working anymore. That's decades of growth, creating even more growth. It's wild. Okay, so let's connect all the dots. We're going to take that tiny 1% habit and plug it into that powerful engine of compounding and see how that lays out the path to that $500,000 goal. So this is the whole journey right here. It all starts with your 1%. And honestly, at first, it's going to feel, well, kind of pointless. Like nothing is happening. You might even wonder if it's working at all. But you just have to trust the process, because slowly, your investments start to earn returns. And then those returns start earning their own returns. And over decades, that creates a growth curve that just becomes unstoppable. That is how a tiny, tiny habit can build massive wealth. All right, so understanding all the theory is one thing, but what really matters is actually doing it. So let's get to the most important part of this whole thing, your dead simple action plan to get started like today. Seriously, you can do this in the next 5 minutes. Step 1, calculate it. Pull out your phone's calculator and figure out what 1% of your monthly take-home pay is. Step 2, automate it. Log into your bank account and set up a recurring transfer for that amount. This is crucial. You want it to happen without you even thinking about it. And finally, step 3, invest it. You'll put that money into a simple low-cost investment account. A great place for beginners to start is a broad market index fund. It's basically like buying a tiny piece of hundreds of the biggest companies all at once. That's it. You're done. You're an investor. And look, if you're still feeling a little nervous about it, just let this quote sink in. Think about it. The risk of investing a tiny amount is incredibly small compared to the guaranteed loss you take by doing nothing and letting your money just sit there. The real risk here is not taking action. So we'll end on this thought. The math works. The path is simple. The only piece of the puzzle that's missing is you. So the real question isn't whether this is possible, but rather, What could your 1% become?